I probably would be too scared to speak. That would be quite strange. But I must say a big thank you to Pinky Lilani and the women of the Future Ambassador Programme for inviting me here today and asking me to say a few words. Now, what I do for a living is certainly quite different and very unique. At times my job is very glamorous. 1 minute I could be interviewing Rihanna, Cheryl Cole, or on a good day, Channing Tatum. But, I know, exactly. On other days, the reality is it's extremely pressured and it's a very, very competitive line of work, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, it took me about 5 years to get my break on KISS, and I just want to tell you a little bit about my journey. I won't go into it too much, just a little bit. I was brought up in Berkshire. I have Asian parents, they're Sikh, and I was sent to a very prestigious school called St George's in Ascot. I think that's when I really started to realise exactly what true challenges were all about and pressure. I was one of the only Asians at my school, which at the time I really thought nothing about, but it was over the years that I started to realise that things can be quite difficult really, especially when you are trying to cement yourself and fit in and things like that. I was at St George's for a while and then I studied my A-levels and I studied theatre mainly, media and various bits and pieces of that kind. I would say as far as role models go, it has to be my parents. My mother was always so supportive of me. She wanted me to just take on the world. And my dad never really understood what media actually was or is. When I first got my job at KISS, my dad said to his nurse at the surgery, "She's working at Lips FM." Never heard of it. But it did take me a while to get my father to understand and realise that you can work in media and it can be different, but it can also be a very rewarding and fantastic thing. I'd like to thank people like Pinky Lilani, who for me really is a major mentor, because meeting her and meeting some of the other ambassadors in the programme and getting to go to events like this and speak to you guys really has kind of lifted what I do for a living and made it something that I feel very, very proud of. And luckily, my dad's very proud too, which makes a difference. But yes, I've been at KISS for 8 years now doing the lunchtime show, and we've got the biggest listenership that the show has ever had. So I'm very, very grateful of that. But really something that I've learnt over the years is whatever it is that you want to do, if you give yourself an element of patience, because sometimes things can take a really, really long time. And you have to be very dedicated. You have to be very strong. When I first started out in radio, I was told that there were no Asian presenters that are on commercial stations, and I was pigeonholed so much, and I was only hired by Asian radio. But I felt as though I wanted to break through, and I'm so glad I did. But even when I broke through, I was then told that there aren't a lot of female presenters generally in radio or anything of that kind. So I had a lot of challenges, but I really enjoyed them. And I kind of like the fact that it's a tough one, because it means that when I can, you know, feel like I'm really getting somewhere, I think, you know what, I've done quite well, and I feel very proud of that. But I would love to be able to talk to some of you later on this evening. If you have any questions, possibly not about some of the celebrities that I've interviewed or Channing Tatum, but by all means, please come over and make sure you say hello. It really is an honour to be here today. In fact, I've left the drive time show at KISS an hour early just to spend a bit of time with you wonderful ladies. But I hope you have a fantastic evening, and thank you so much for letting me be part of it.